The Harwich Mariners travel to Barnstable to take on the Cotuit Kettleers. Kettleers sitting at the top of the West right now with a record of 6-1. That's the best in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Off to a very hot start. Things firing on all cylinders for them against the Harwich Mariner team that's coming off their best offensive performance, a 12-run performance at that, in which they tallied 13 hits against the Orleans Firebirds last night. Hello, everybody, and welcome into Lowell Park here in Cotuit. My name is Devin Dobeck, alongside my broadcast partner, Wyatt Kopelman, getting set to go here. Wyatt, I just alluded to that offensive game the Mariners put together yesterday. What do they need to do to carry that from yesterday into today and going forward?
Well, I mean, you consider the power hitting that Harwich got out of Lorenzo Carrier making his debut. In his first hit, he crushed a 3-run home run, and then you get Kennedy Jones firing with the extra bases he's provided Harwich this season. That's all amassed for the second highest batting average in the league this season. And you also consider the RBIs that Harwich has been able to produce with 2 outs, with 1 out on the board. It's going to be important for Harwich to be able to carry that in here to today against a tall righty in Paul Pasqualamo of California, someone who has a very solid fastball, sits around 95 miles per hour at its finest, and then also has a deceiving changeup too.
Let's meet the Harwich Mariners batting order, looking to string together their second straight win. They're up to 4-3 on the season. Leading off will be the shortstop, Ali Camarillo. Batting second, the second baseman, Seaver King. Batting third, the designated hitter, Hunter Fitzgerald. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, Lorenzo Carrier. Batting fifth, the third baseman, Kenny Lavari. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Matt Scannell. Batting seventh, making his Mariner debut, is the center fielder, Devin Obie. Batting eighth, also making his Mariner debut out of Duke, is the catcher, Andrew Yu. And batting ninth, in left, is Ryan Wilson. On the mound for the Cotuit Kettleers is going to be Paulshan Pasqualotto. This past season, a member of the California Bears. And he posted a 4.03 ERA to complement a 5-1 record through 58 innings this past season, 53 hits, and surrendered just 26 earned runs. Did walk 33 people, though, so his control has been a touch of a problem, but we'll see what he can do against this red-hot Mariner order. 2 home runs for the Mariners last night off the bat of Lorenzo Carrier in his first swing ever as a Mariner. And then one off the bat of Kennedy Jones, a grand slam. 7 runs chased in from those 2 bombs. And they tripled the previous Mariner count at 1. It's now up to 3. However, the long ball going to be a problem here. Cotuit, the only team in the Cape Cod Baseball League to not surrender a home run yet. We'll see if Harwich can break that spell. It's 0-1 now to Camarillo. Beautiful day here. Hovering just under 70 degrees, partly cloudy and nice skies. Next pitch misses up high, and it's 1-1.
Ollie getting the starting nod in the leadoff spot here today, someone who's starting to swing the bat a little bit better despite starting off the season really cold, with a lot of strikeouts.
1-1. Dropped in there for a strike at 77 miles per hour. Beautiful new scoreboard here at Lowell Park, fully digital, and they got a nice speedometer so we can keep up with that. Ball and 2 strikes now to Camarillo, the newest Texas A&M Aggie. The pitch. Downstairs, 2-2. Jacob Humphrey, for the first time all season, not in that leadoff spot for Steve Engler, and coming off his best game as well. Reached base 4 times, had 2 hits and 2 walks. So a bit of a shocker after his best game that he was yanked. But we'll see what Camarillo can do as he watches ball 3 up and away to load up the count.
The Harwich runners that get on base here today have to be able to look to the men behind them in the order here. It's going to be crucial. Harwich leaving 18 on in the combined 3 games.
This is going to be grounded over to third base. Josh Pine fields it, fires on to first, and it can't be dug out by Tanner Thatch, and so we'll see how they score it, but Camarillo going to find his way on to first base.
Should be a hit. Camarillo just chopping it over towards the left side. Not the strongest ground ball, but you consider what you're working with right now and getting a small angle to start off this game. That could be crucial going down the stretch of this one as Harwich looks to put on runs. Only 1 loss this year, Devin, when trailing first.
They did rule an error on Josh Pine, so that will be how the ball game starts for the Kettleers, who've been so solid defensively. Tied for 5th in the Cape Cod Baseball League. As they take a look over at Camarillo, he's back in there safely. Seaver King will dig in, the second baseman, recent transfer to Wake Forest. Coming off a great game as well. Had a couple walks, sacrifice fly. It's 0-1 to start him. 76-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch. And, yeah, with Seaver King now leading the league, tied for the lead, rather, in sacrifice flies with 2. He's been one of those guys who's really been able to produce in situational baseball. They'll take another look over at Camarillo, who's in there safely. Pasqualato trying to settle back in after an error has put a runner on here early. This Kettleer pitching staff has been fantastic. It's carried them to those 6 wins as that pitch misses inside. It'll be 1-1.
Team ERA for this Cotuit team hardly above 2.2 right now, and this is a Cotuit team that just beat the Bourne Braves 1-0. Bourne straight at 9 in that game. Harwich can ill afford to fall into that hole today.
Cotuit dominating Harwich pitching in every category except hits and batting average against. Harwich leads the league in those 2. As this is going to be chopped over to Pine once again. Thought about 2, goes to 1, not in time. Took way too long to decide, and Josh Pine, baseball's finding him despite the struggles as Mariners now with runners on first and second.
Paul Pasqualato already pitching 1 this year, but he doesn't want to have to work out of the stretch for too long here. Someone who was honorable mention All Pac-12 in his first year back from Tommy John surgery at Cal this year. So now he works with 2 on here. It's just an opportunity here for Hunter Fitzgerald, still with nobody out. And you need your defense to be able to create behind you with such a low ERA.
Fitzgerald chops the first one off to the right for a strike. He brings in a 6-game hitting streak. Last night, 1 for 4 with a walk against the Orleans Firebirds. Been a serious power threat for the Mariners. Pair of doubles, 7 hits. That's tied for the team high. As umpire trying to square something away with Mike Roberts. Not sure exactly what the story is. Might be something regarding the dugout. On deck, Lorenzo Carrier. Fitzgerald's behind in the count, 0-1. The pitch. It's going to be fouled off again, and now he's going to really have to protect at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes on a beautiful day here in a village of Barnstable. 0-2. Misses up high, and it's 1-2. Kenny Lavari back in the lineup for the Mariners, batting 5th tonight after he missed the last game, probably following his tough 9th inning against the YD Red Sox. 1-2 is going to be chopped softly over to second. Onto field is Jay Harry, and he flips on to first. But the runners will move up a station, and so it'll be second and third now with 1 away for Lorenzo Carrier.
Cotuit team with the 5th highest fielding percentage. 7 errors committed, however. Already with 1 on the board here. Harwich will take that, getting 2 runners into scoring position for Hunter Fitzgerald, just putting it to the right side shallowly to the point where you can easily get 2 in a scoring position.
Cotuit wearing their home white uniforms with a maroon pinstripe. Says Cotuit across the chest in black. Black numbers all trimmed in maroon with navy blue hats with the Cotuit C in white on the pitch. This is up high for a ball. Mariners in their road navy uniform says Harwich in red. Also red numbers, all trimmed in white with gray pants and navy socks. Red batting helmets for the moment before they will have their navy hats in the field. Here comes the 1-0 to Carrier. Might have been foul tipped, and so it'll be 1-1. Carrier, first Mariner in a few years to have a 5 RBI game. Definitely didn't happen last year, and his 3-run homer complemented by the double he tried to stretch to a triple are what chased in all those runs, as he's still ahead in the count 2-1. He's really settled into Harwich with ease, and we'll see what he can do now in the cleanup spot after hitting in the bottom 3 of the order last night. 2-1. It's going to be cut on and missed, and it'll be 2-2. Carrier, as it stands right now, leading the league in, well, tied for the league lead in batting average at 500, granted the very small sample size. As he will go down swinging here. More on him in the innings to come. Tough spot with 2 ducks on the pond for a strikeout, but we'll see if Kenny Lavari can pick up the change.
Pasqualato with that highly powerful fastball going 2 straight pitches with a high heat. Carrier unable to catch up each time.
So Kenny Lavari's turn. Comes in hitting .267. Third baseman out of Old Dominion. Started the season hot and has since cooled off, but still middle of the lineup guy. He chops this one over to second. There to get it is Jay Harry, and Pasqualato able to escape the jam despite an error and an infield single. Strands 2 runners in scoring position. We'll meet the Cotuit defense in the second inning, but for now we'll send it to break. 0-0 from Lowell Park. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back, Devin Dobek, Wyatt Kopelman along with you as the Mariners leave 2 in scoring position. And now it'll be Cotuit's turn. Leading things off will be the catcher, Caleb Lomavita. See what he can do for the Kets as they're set to face Tim Noon, making his second start for Harwich. Last one came 2 Sundays ago against the Orleans Firebirds, which he went 4 innings. Had just 1 strikeout, 2 walks, but a great start. Only surrendered 2 hits, did his job, and he's ahead in the count 0-1. 85-mile-per-hour first pitch from him. Next one is going to just miss the outside corner, and so it'll be 1-1. Noon out of Babson College, a native of Needham, Massachusetts, as he's going to hang this one, and it's going to be lifted down the line and fair all the way to the wall in left field. Throwing it in, and it won't be in time. It's a stand-up double for Lomavita to get the Kettleers started.
Certainly what you need out of a plus 310 hitter at Cal of the Pac-12, and going up against the lefty in Noon. Gave up just 2 hits, 2 walks in his debut. It's the Orleans Firebirds. 4 scoreless innings all the while, and now he immediately works out of the stretch.
Tanner Thatch due up. He leads the Cape Cod Baseball League in slugging at .929. Sits in that 2 spot for Coach Mike Roberts. First pitch to him is going to be in there for a strike. 86 miles per hour that time. Thatch standing in from the left side. Serious power threat. 0-1. Hanging breaking ball that is left alone, and it drops in there for a strike at 0-2. Noon comes set in the 0-2 pitch. Just misses the outside corner. A nice spot at 87. And so the count will be 1-2 now. 1-2 pitch coming. And it's going to be lined into center field for a base hit. Taking a turn and headed home is Lomavita. The throw is going to be cut off, and it's 1-0 Kettleers.
Big base hit that time from Thatch, hitting in the 2-hole here. Cotuit, as a matter of fact, now with 19 extra base hits on the season. Didn't exactly shoot into the power alley that time, but by all means, is that a huge recipe for Cotuit to stay at 6-1 going into today through 7 games on the season.
Brock Rodden, the shortstop, digs in now. Runner on and nobody away. And he's going to poke that into right field for a base hit. Stopping at second is Thatch, and another hit, 3 straight to start the Kettleers here, who have really become a much better offensive team. And let's meet the Kettleer lineup. Leading off, the catcher, Caleb Lomavita, batting second, the first baseman, Tanner Thatch, batting third, the shortstop, Brock Rodden, batting cleanup, the right fielder, Brett Bateman, batting fifth, the left fielder, Teo Banks, batting sixth, the second baseman, Jay Harry, batting seventh, the designated hitter, Keaton Anthony, batting eighth, the center fielder, Rodney Green Jr., and batting ninth, the third baseman, Josh Pine. So far, pretty hot start for the Kets as the Mariners applied some pressure. The Kettleers have already cashed in. They lead it early, 1-0. Bunt attempt, and it will go to Noon. Thought about going to third, now goes to first, and just barely in time. Mariners able to get the out, but Kettleers and Thatch and Rodden move up a station to third and second. So it'll be a sacrifice bunt.
That's what you take here, especially given that Cotuit needs to get a 7th win here today, or the league best 6. Mike Roberts, the head coach for a long time here, just near 20 years.
First pitch now misses low to the new batter, and Teo Banks. And yeah, you'll see Cotuit play a lot of small ball throughout their season. Bunts, stolen bases, hit and runs, things of that nature. As this one's going to be grounded over to the shortstop, Camarillo. Looks back the runner and then goes on to first as a run comes in Tanner Thatch. Look back the runner to second in Rodden. And Cotuit leads 2-0 now. So 2 away and a runner in scoring position for Jay Harry, the second baseman. Mariner defense this season ranked 8th in the Cape Cod Baseball League, a .971 fielding percentage and 7 errors. Left to right in the outfield, Ryan Wilson, Devin Obie, the Duke product, and Lorenzo Carrier. As the first pitch now to Harry is going to miss outside for a ball. Third to first in the infield, Kenny Lavari, Ali Camarillo, Seaver King, and Matt Scannell, with Andrew Yu doing the catching for Tim Noon. 1-0 pitch is going to catch the inside corner to even up the count at 1-1. Rodden's at second, 2-0 Kettleers here early. Here comes the 1-1 offering from Noon. It's going to be lined into left center field for a base hit. In to score easily as Rodden taking a turn and retreating to first base is Jay Harry. And the Kettleers striking for 3 early here, fueled by 4 base hits. They are applying the pressure on Noon, a guy who only allowed 1 run through 4 innings against Orleans.
It's been a rough start here for Noon. Someone who only had 1 strikeout in those 4 innings as well. And right now you still work out of the stretch with 2 outs. Have to be able to get an out.
As there goes the runner down to second. The throw is going to be not in time from Yu. Thought he got him. But it's a stolen base for Jay Harry. Three nothing Cotuit here in the bottom of the first and threatening for more. It's Keaton Anthony, the designated hitter, who's currently ahead in the count 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch. Breaking ball is grounded right back towards us and makes it a 2-1 count. Or 1 ball and 2 strikes, excuse me. Some scoreboard malfunctions here, a little park. Next pitch. Bounced in the dirt. And so it'll now be 2-2. Tim Noon did play for the Brockton Rocks back in the Futures Collegiate Baseball League, as well as the Vermont Lake Monsters back in 2022 and 2020. 2-2 pitch. Misses up high, and count is worked full. Rodney Green Jr. awaits on deck should he get there. Cotuit threatening for more as they've been hitting the ball hard off Noon early. Payoff. It's going to be bounced in the dirt, and so it'll be a 6-pitch walk to make it first and second, and the 8th batter of the inning coming to the plate.
Yeah, it's been tough thus far for Noon, and that's gonna draw everyone together on the mound just to see what's going on here. Need to make sure your starter is calm here after giving you 4 solid innings against an Orleans team that was playing its home opener. But right now, if you're Steve Engler, you just have to make sure that he's going to be able to get a couple of quick outs here. Hasn't really induced that much ground ball contact aside from the comebacker at him and ground ball over to shortstop. Working with a new batter he made today as well in Andrew Yu. So we'll see how he responds here.
Rodney Green Jr. digs in, the center fielder for the Kettleers. Noon comes set, and the pitch from the lefty. Paints the outside corner for a strike. 2 active games thus far. Of course, Cotuit and Harwich here, and then Wareham in Brewster in the top of the second. No score there. All other games getting set at 6, 6:30, and 7. It's a ball and a strike now to Green Jr. As Noon comes set, drops the glove from head to his waist, and the pitch. Breaking ball, pulled the string 75 miles per hour, and fooled Green. Be 1-2. Josh Pine, the third baseman, on deck. 1-2 pitch is going to be broken bat chopper over to second. Seaver King throws on the run and gets the runner for out number 3. But Cotuit brings 8 batters to the plate and cashes in 3 runs on 4 hits, and they also drew a walk as well. 3-0 Cotuit headed into the second frame. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Let's meet the Kettleers defense before we get going here. Cotuit tied for 5th in the Cape League with 7 errors, now 8 and a .972 fielding percentage. In the outfield, left to right, is Teo Banks, Rodney Green Jr., and Brett Bateman. Third to first in the infield, Josh Pine, Brock Rodden, Jay Harry, and Tanner Thatch, with Caleb Lomavita doing the catching for Pasqualotto. 1-0 now to start Matt Scannell. Mariners trying to pick up some of the loose change as Cotuit with a 3-0 lead here early. 1-0 pitch. Runs inside, and it'll be 2-0 count. Scannell has one of the 3 Harwich home runs this season. It was a 3-run blast in the loss against the YD Red Sox. 2-0. In there for a strike. Be 2-1. Scannell also with 6 RBIs on the season. He's been a reliable threat in scoring position situations. 2-1 is going to be fouled back, and it'll be 2-2 now.
Scannell tried to sit back on the changeup there and just got a piece of it. He's shown aggression in a lot of his at-bats early on here in the season. You just have to get the leadoff man here if you're Harwich.
2-2 pitch. Misses outside, and count is worked full. 93 miles per hour on that pitch from Pasqualato. Devin Obie on deck, followed by Andrew Yu for the Mariners. 3-2. It's going to be fouled off of Scannell, and so we'll stay there and do it again. Harwich bats have been decent throughout the season. A 267 average for the club. 747 OPS. Just shy of the Kettleers' 750 OPS mark as Scannell rolls this one over to the shortstop, Rodden. He throws, lost his footing, and it will be safe. Weird incidents there as Brock Rodden blew a tire trying to make the throw over to first, and not sure what kind of ruling we'll get here. It'll be a hit for Matt Scannell, and so the Mariners get the leadoff man on for the second time tonight.
Ali Camarillo able to get on by an error. Harwich has yet to get one past the infield here, but you take what you can get, especially in the ballpark of the team with the most wins in the Cape Cod League right now.
You got to hand it to Pasqualato. He's found a way to get ground ball contact and produce outs, but defense has been a little shaky behind him thus far. Pickoff attempt, but back in there safely is Scannell. Not really a threat to run, but we'll see. Devin Obie, the Duke product, digs in for his first at-bat as a Harwich Mariner. Just arrived after Duke was eliminated from postseason play in the NCAA. Obie very quick, a center fielder for the Mariners. As he watches one drop in for a strike to make it 0-1. Obie from Nashville, Tennessee, 6'2", 215 for the rising sophomore. Or rising junior, excuse me. Ball and a strike. Sophomore season, he hit .232 for the Duke Blue Devils. .364 on base percentage, what fueled him. 1-1 pitch. It's going to be fouled back, and so it'll be 1-2. Last summer, Obie played for the Kalamazoo Growlers in the Northwoods League out in the Midwest area. Hit .206 for them in that wood bat league with a .322 on base percentage. 1-2 pitch. Misses down low to make it 2-2. Scannell's on first. 3-0 Cotuit here in the top of the second from Lowell Park. Here comes another 2-2 pitch. Misses down in the dirt and gets away. Scannell down to second with ease as that one skipped by Loma Vida.
Bit of a rare instance there from Pasqualato, the right-handed starter for Cotuit, just bouncing one past him for a wild pitch, and you take that if you're Scannell, especially not having the most speed on the base passes while you're trying to light a spark for this Mariners team. So with none out here.
Payoff pitch coming. Swing and a miss. Obie took a home run hack at it and got none of it. He goes down on strikes. That will be the second punch out for Pasqualato, and there's one away here in the second.
Fastball has been great for Pasqualato thus far. He's gotten 2 strikeouts aside from the ground ball contact he's induced. He has one out here, but no ground ball double play opportunity available. We'll see how Harwich approaches this here. Does it swing for the outfield and the power alleys, or does it just try to work it down the lines here and try and force him in choppy waters?
Andrew Yu digs in. Yu, a teammate of Devin Obie at Duke University. Also went to high school with Obie at Ensworth, native of Nashville, Tennessee as well. So those two playing ball together their whole lives. 0-1. Bounced in the dirt again, but able to stay with it is Loma Vida, and it'll be 1-1. Last season, not a whole lot of action for Andrew Yu, just 21 games. Hit .094 for the Blue Devils, just 3 hits across his 32 at-bats. 1-1. This is up high, so it'll be 2-1. 94 on that fastball. freshman season at Duke, hit .273 for the Blue Devils, a .370 on-base percentage, a pair of home runs as well. Scannell at second, one away here as Yu bites at a breaking ball, and so it'll be 2-2 now. Cotuit leading this one 3-0. Facing the bottom two in the Mariner order next with one away here. Here's the 2-2. Right on the outside corner, a nice pitcher's pitch from Pasqualato. Back-to-back strikeouts for him, this one looking. And so that will be 2 away.
Rarely has the fastball been a problem to locate for Pasqualato here today. Previously, he had gotten you swinging on a slider low in the zone, and that time just got caught looking for too long on a fastball. Really well located.
Now it's Ryan Wilson's turn. He digs in. Missed the last couple games after being scorching hot in Wareham. Pair of hits and a pair of lineouts for him there. This one's bounced in the dirt to make it 1-0 count. Native of Durham, North Carolina. Rising junior for the Davidson Wildcats. 2-game hitting streak for him. Went 1 for 2 against the Bourne Braves. 1-0 pitch. Caught on and missed to make it 1-1. Wilson hitting .286 with a .375 on-base percentage across the 5 games he's appeared in for the Mariners thus far. Count is even at 1, 2 away, 3-0 Kettleers. Swing and a miss. Pulled his head out of that one, and the pitch moved way off the plate. 1-2 now to Wilson. Top of the order on deck in Ali Camarillo. Scannell dancing off a second and the pitch. Thought about it, didn't bite, and it's 2-2.
It's the biggest test you face if you're Wilson here, although it's not a left-hander on the mound to face. Runner in scoring position, your team's down 3-0. You need to get hits on the board quickly.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away, and a runner on second. The pitch. Breaking ball dropped right in there. 3 straight strikeouts back-to-back looking for Paul-Sean Pasqualato. He is locked in. Kettleers coming up in the home half on the other side of the break. 3-0 Cotuit on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Bottom half of the second inning, 3-0 Cotuit. Devin Dobek, Wyatt Kopelman along with you on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network as they head back to defense. Tim Newton faced 8 batters in the bottom of the first inning, trying to avoid that same thing. He starts 9-1-2 here in the second. First pitch is going to miss for a ball down low, and it's 1-0. Lowell Park ever so beautiful. Pair of grandstands as this one's lifted out to right field. Couple steps to the right for Lorenzo Carrier, and he battles the sun to put it away for out number 1. But as I was saying, those beautiful grandstands, plenty of people can come in, catch the game. Nice press box up there as well on the new scoreboard. Just no lights. And I guess that was part of the agreement when a team was meant to stay in Cotuit. First pitch is going to be flipped out of play for a strike. It's 0-1. Next pitch to Caleb Lomavita is going to be popped into foul territory. Carrier heading over, but he might run out of real estate. And he will. It's a 0-2 now. 4 hits for the Kettleers in the first inning. Just 2 for Harwich now through their 2 innings up at bat. Lomavita doubled and came around to score to lead off the first inning. See what he can do. Behind in the count, 0-2. The pitch. Just missed the outside corner. Noon thought he had him. Tanner Thatch on deck. Power threat for the Kettleers. 1-2. Misses down at the shoelaces, and it'll be 2-2. Noon not blowing hitters away with velocity, but his location is usually what makes him so great. Struggled there today, as this one's going to be just foul. Looked like it might have gotten over the third base bag, but no, says the third base umpire. Tough break for Cotuit, as Lomavita almost had his second extra base hit of the day. 2-2 pitch. It's going to be lifted out into left field. Long run for Ryan Wilson, ranging over, and it will be foul as it lands. Fan dropped the ball on the flip by Wilson, trying to get it to him. Tough break there. To a coach heading out to do some damage control. Another 2-2 from Noon. It's going to be grounded up the middle, ranging all the way over is King. Throws across the body, and it's thrown away. Would have been probably safe if the throw was on target, but Seaver King, the second baseman, had to go probably 10 to 15 yards to the right of second base to field that ground ball. And so they will rule that an infield single for the Kettleers. We're back in business here with one away. Tanner Thatch's turn, lefty on lefty matchup. He singled and came around to score back in the first. Dancing off of first as Noon threw it away. Lomavita was dancing off of first base, and it got Tim Noon caught off guard. He tripped and threw it over to first, and it got away. So down to second goes Lomavita in the scoring position. This is what Cotuit does. Every year, small ball that gets in Harwich's head, they will rule an error on Noon. As this next pitch is going to be chopped over to Seaver King. At second, he'll throw on to first, as moving down to third is Lomavita. Not sure if that would have been enough for a double play had the situation been what it was prior. But now if you're Noon, just focus on the batter and Rodden. Runner on third, 2 away. Kettleers trying to score in back-to-back innings. First pitch. Rodden lines it on the ground up the middle. In to score easily is Lomavita, and Rodden picks up his second single of the day to keep the rally alive with 2 outs.
Just a weak comebacker up the middle, rolled right over the mound, and Noon, instead of fielding, just got out of the way that time, and kind of a disastrous situation to be working with Lomavita reaching on an infield single to short, Camarillo unable to field it, and then an E1, and then you just see him be able to work around the base pass.
Cotuit offense had scored 36 runs coming into today. That's just below 6 a game. Actually closer to 5. As 0-1 is going to just miss the outside corner. 1-1 now to Brett Bateman. He dropped down a bunt, which is crazy when you consider him being a cleanup hitter, but that's just the type of baseball Mike Roberts plays, and it has fared Cotuit well. 1-1 bounce in the dirt. Nice stop by you. It's back to first goes Rodden. Plenty of talent for the Kettleers throughout the years. Of course, home of former Red Sox outfielder Jackie Bradley Jr. Arguably one of the best players to ever play in the Cape League at that time. Or no, excuse me, he was in Falmouth, not Cotuit. Getting ahead of myself. Tommy Troy, of course, plays for Stanford. Played for Cotuit last year. As the throw down is going to be in time from Andrew Yu. Catching, rod, and stealing, that's how the inning will end. So just 4 batters faced for Noon in the second, but he does surrender a run thanks to 2 hits. And so it'll be 4-0 Cotuit heading into the third. We'll be back on the other side of the break. You're listening to Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Top of the third inning and top of the order for the Mariners. Camarillo digging in, followed by King and Fitzgerald. Camarillo reached on an error by the third baseman Pine back in the first. Mariners getting out hit 6-2 and beaten on the scoreboard 4-0. First pitch to Camarillo is going to miss down low for a ball. 1-0. Mariners have won just 2 of their previous 5 games. As Camarillo taps it, might have got a piece of the plate, but it'll be a fair ball down to first. It'll be a 2-3 putout. Nice play by Loma Vida, and that's how the third starts for the Mariners.
Initially looked like Camarillo was trying to hold up on that, but then saw it just below the letters in the zone and tried to lay it down. Of course, it wasn't a bunt attempt, but hardly a half swing as well. Nonetheless, there's one away.
Seaver King digs in. He had an infield single and was stranded at second back in the first. First pitch. Breaking ball is going to be chopped foul off to the left. It's 0-1. But yeah, Mariners have won 2 of their last 5 and 2 of their last 3 at that rate. Beat Orleans last night soundly before losing a tough one at the hands of YD, a game they should have won before surrendering 4 in the bottom of the 9th. And then before that, they won an abbreviated game as King lines this one up the middle into center field for a base hit. He's 2 for 2 on the day. 2 of the 3 Mariners hits coming off his bat. And so 1 away for Hunter Fitzgerald to get something going.
He's been one of the most reliable Mariners in the lineup here for sure. Harwich at 4-3 on the season. King, meanwhile, now extending his on-base streak to 7 to match Kalen Culpepper. Harwich not had a problem in getting runners on the season. I mean, just a matter of bringing them home. Consider the win last night still left 6 on.
Hunter Fitzgerald lines one into right field for a base hit. Checking up is Seaver King as Fitzgerald has pushed his hit streak to 7 games. He's been hot. Now in the 3 spot for the Mariners. We saw him at 5 and then the cleanup spot, and then now in the 3 spot for Coach Engler. Be first and second now for Carrier. Carrier on the day was the first strikeout victim of Pasqualato. See what he can do here. Carrier coming off a game in which he had a homer and a double. First pitch is a breaking ball that he swings right over to make it 0-1. After Carrier, it's Lavari and then Scannell, should we get there. Next pitch to the Miami Hurricane. He's going to run in. Might have got the... No, they're going to say it got him. Might have got the bat by the sound, but we're going to say it was the elbow guard as Carrier will take his time, trot down to first base, and they're all loaded up now for Kenny Lavari.
I think that might have actually drilled him on the 3 on that back of Carrier. It seemed as if it might have gotten him on the elbow guard from the sound of it. But you look at Kenny Lavari coming in here, hasn't had the best batting average on the season, but still bases loaded here. If the most important at-bat of the season, surely, for Harwich, was just one away here in the third.
Yeah, you don't want this game to get away. You stranded 2 runners in scoring position with 1 away in the first inning. Now another chance, 1 away, and they're all loaded up. See what Kenny can do. His first pitch is bounced in the dirt to make it 1-0. Lavari on the day, grounded out to second back in the first inning. See what he can do in his second chance up against Pasqualato. Big at-bat for the Mariners. The pitch. Thought about it, didn't end up swinging, and so now a hitter's count, 2-0 to the Old Dominion Monarch.
Lavari just with a hit in each of his last 3 games. Again, you consider just being able to put it on the ground here, try and force Cotuit to try and guess and make a wrong decision here.
2-0 pitch. Misses up and away, and now Pasqualato's going to have to come to Lavari, nowhere to put him. It's 3-0. If you're Lavari, you got to think take on this 3-0 bases loaded. So Pasqualato's going to have to come, and then we'll see what happens after that. The pitch. Right on the outer part of the plate to make it 3-1. On third is King. Fitzgerald's on second with Carrier at first. The pitch. Just caught the outside corner. Lavari had started down towards first base. He'll have to climb back into the left-handed batter's box and do it again. 3-2 with 1 away, and they're all loaded. The pitch. Just missed outside. Another borderline pitch, and Lavari will head down to first. In comes Seaver King, and the Mariners are on the board at 4-1. Mike Roberts has seen enough. He's going to go to his bullpen here. Night is over for Pasqualato, and we'll take a quick break. 4-1 Kettleers, but they're all loaded up in 1 away. Pitching change for Cotuit. We'll be back on the other side after a short break on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. New wing for the Kettleers is Cole Mathis out of Charleston. 6'1", 210 pounds, College of Charleston. Comes in with a 9.00 ERA. Just 2 innings pitched for the Kettleers. Pair of strikeouts, pair of hits. First pitch to Matt Scannell is going to miss the outside corner to make it 1-0. Scannell singled back in the second inning. They're all loaded up here with 1 away. Mariners trailing by 3. The pitch. Misses outside again. Another hitter's count at 2-0.
Well, Mathis is a two-way player that has really translated what he did at Charleston this year into Cotuit here. Did give up 2 earned runs, however, against the hottest hitting team against Yarmouth Dennis.
That one just catches the outside corner. Scannell visibly upset, but he'll dig back in behind in the count 2-1. Two balls and a strike. The pitch. Foul tipped into the mitt to make it 2-2. And yeah, there's a stampede of children running around with Kettleer pots looking for donations from the fans. 2-2 pitch. Just fell off the table at the last second, and count has worked full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch coming to the Princeton Tiger. Here it is. Misses away. Back-to-back walks with the bases loaded will chase in 2 runs for the Mariners. It's a 4-2 ball game.
This is a Cotuit team that gives up the second fewest walks in the league this season. And Cole Mathis, someone who has a strikeout to walk ratio at Charleston of just above 3. Bit of a rare instance here. But you look at Harwich and what you're getting, it's a deficit in half now.
New batter is going to be Devin Obie. He struck out swinging back in the second inning. He's got the golden opportunity to make an impact in his Mariner debut here. 4-2 is the score. Bases loaded as Obie fouls it off on a check swing. And so it'll be 1-1. Mariners with 4 hits. Bases all loaded with 1 away for Obie. The pitch. Breaking ball catches the outer part of the plate to make it 1-2. Obie will be followed by a couple Duke Blue Devils who grew up together in Nashville, Tennessee, went to Ensworth High School, and now playing in the Cape League together. 1-2 pitch. Obie checked his swing. Yes, he did, so says the home plate umpire. First strikeout for Cole Mathis, and a big one at that. 2 away now, and the base is loaded for you.
Obie only in 55 at-bats, 14 starts for Duke this season. It's going to be interesting to see how he develops here with Harwich.
Base is loaded for you. First pitch to him misses down low for a ball. It's 1-0. You followed by Wilson. Mariners trying to add a couple more thanks to this golden opportunity Cotuit has given them. 3 hits and a pair of walks gotten them to this point. That pitch misses down low, and it's a hitter's count, 2-0. You, the 8th batter in the inning for the Mariners. 4-2 our score in favor of the Kettleers. And the 2-0 pitch. Misses inside, 3-0. Ryan Wilson on deck. He's been hot. So any way you can get the job done and keep the inning alive will certainly help, both on the scoreboard and for longevity of this Cotuit bullpen. That pitch on the inside corner. 2-seam fastball at 93 miles per hour that just caught a piece of the plate. Three and one. The pitch. Hughes going to chop it softly over towards third base. Scooped by Pine. He'll have to make a throw on the run and get the out. Really nice job by Pine to step in and make the play. And the side is retired. But the Mariners strike for 2 thanks to 3 hits, but they strand the bases loaded. 4-2 Cotuit headed into the home half of the third. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Bateman, Banks, and Harry due up for the Kettleers as Tim Noon back out there. Just shows you the difference in managing styles between Englert and Roberts, as after any sign of trouble with Pasqualato, Mike Roberts pulled the hook, but Noon has run into some adversity and he stands out there. Mariners do have two of the longest starts this season in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Came from Sam and Andrew Armstrong. No relation there, but they've both gone 6 full. Armstrong, Sam that is, now leading the league with 13 strikeouts. He was sensational last night, as first pitch is going to be lifted out into left field. Couple steps back for Wilson, and he puts it away to retire Bateman.
Noon has a lot of strong movement laterally on that slider, and it was just sat on well enough by Bateman as he hooked it into left field. First pitch, 1 out. That has to be relieving for Noon, facing a Cotuit team with such a strong run differential this season at 16.
Teo Bank digs in, and he watches a ball go off the outer part of the plate, and it's 1-0. Grounded out to the shortstop in his first at-bat, as next pitch also just misses outside. It's 2-0. 80 on that off-speed pitch. Next one's going to be lifted foul off to the right. It's 2-1. Brewster on top of Wareham, 2-0 in the top of the 4th inning from Stony Brook Field. And later tonight, Falmouth taking on Hyannis at 6 at McKeon Park, as another foul ball is lifted out of play. Orleans hosting the YD Red Sox, who are red hot, no pun intended. They've won 4 of their last 5, and that 5th being a tie. As ground ball to Lavari, he steps in, throws on the first, 5-3 put out, 2 up, 2 down for Noon here in the 3rd. And then later at 7 o'clock will be Bourne traveling to Chatham to take on the Anglers. Bourne, the worst team in the Cape League, at 1-5-1. Orleans just above them at 2-5-0. Ding in is Jay Harry, had a huge hit back in the first inning. Eventually stole a base before he was stranded. 1-0 to him. Next pitch is going to catch the outer corner to make it 1-1. And Harry, kind of that old school style, no batting gloves, also choking up on the bat a little bit, as breaking ball is going to be chopped between his legs to make it 1-2. Noon back into the windup, and the pitch. Breaking ball bounced in the dirt, and so it'll be 2-2. Noon looking for his first scoreless inning. The pitch is going to be chopped up the middle, cut off by Camarillo. He throws across his body in time, despite the extension at the last second by Harry, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down. Noon faces the minimum, and we head now to the second third of the ball game. 4-2 Kettleers. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Top of the 4th inning, back out there is Mathis, and turning play-by-play duties over I will to my broadcast partner, Wyatt Kopelman, for innings 4 through 6. Wyatt, take it away.
All right, thanks, Devin. Ryan Wilson, Ali Camarillo, and Seaver King, the 9-1-2 hitters, due up here for Harwich in the 4th inning. Harwich trailing Cotuit 4-2, their first trip to Lowell Park on the season following a 12-2 victory at Orleans last night. It was a dominant outing for the most part for Sam Armstrong. He moved to 1-0 on the season. Was just released this morning, however, as now going back out on the mound for Cotuit, going to be Cole Mathis, the Charleston product. Set to face Ryan Wilson here, 0 for 1 today. Struck out looking back in the second. The junior of Durham, North Carolina, graduate of Jordan High School, first-year member of the Mariners this season. Devin, he's starting to translate that hitting prowess from the Wildcats program. The first pitch on the way from Mathis. Watched that high and inside for ball number 1. We're underway here in the fourth. He had a team best 387 in his third season at Davidson, a team in the Atlantic 10 Conference. 2 runs on 4 hits for Harwich, 4 and 6 for Cotuit. The pitch. Fastball taken on the lower outside corner for strike number 1. Count is even at 1 here for Wilson. 1 for 2 to form a 2-game hitting streak in that 3-run win against Bourne a few nights ago. 1-1. Slider swung on and missed. It's 1-2. 9-hole hitter left to protect here. An error piece for Harwich and Cotuit here. Top of the fourth. 4-2 lead for Cotuit. 2-strike pitch from Mathis. Breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3. The 6th strikeout here for Cotuit pitching. The second from Mathis in relief as there's 1 away here in the fourth.
Yeah, just some very untimely strikeouts from the Mariners as of late. Devin Obie, of course, punching out with 1 away and the bases loaded back in the third. And then a leadoff strikeout from Wilson as the Mariners trail by 2, still trying to chase those couple runs Cotuit has on them.
Well, that time Wilson was trying to chase the slider, was out in front of it. That sets it up for Ali Camarillo here as the CSU Northridge product takes it down the middle for strike number 1. Set to go to Texas A&M now as also a first-year member of the Mariners. Led CSU Northridge in hitting at 371. 0-1, a check swing. The appeal down to first, and it's a no. It's going to go to 1-1 here to the leadoff hitter today. Reached on an E5 back in the first and grounded out to the catcher in Loma Vita. 1-1. Chopped over towards the left side. Roden, quick play at short. Fires on to first, and it's in time. 2 up and 2 down here to start the fourth. Harwich still trailing Cotuit 4-2. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Mariners. 4 runs on 6 hits for the Kettleers, and it's an error piece here as Mathis is starting to settle in after Harwich chased out Pasqualato, the starter for Cotuit, just after 2 innings, and Harwich by no means is going away despite there being 2 away here in the fourth. It's going to be Seaver King now, the soon-to-be Wake Forest Demon Deacon, as he watches one on the outer corner for ball number 1. Mathis starting to settle in here. We mentioned earlier has a strikeout-to-walk ratio just north of 3 at the College of Charleston. 1-0, smashed out to left field, racing back to the warning track. Banks, he looks up, and that ball is out of here. A solo home run for Seaver King as the Wingate product goes for a solo blast here to get Harwich within 1. Cotuit 4, Harwich 3 with 2 away here in the fourth.
Hasn't he been fantastic, Wyatt? His 3rd hit of the ball game, pair of singles and now a home run. He's the first player in the Cape League to homer off the Cotuit Kettleers this season. A blast out to left field. Actually hit someone as it crossed the fence, but they seem to be okay. Really nice swing he put on that one, and it tailed right over the fence. 320 out and left. Nice job by King to make this a 1-run game.
First pitch to Hunter Fitzgerald, the southpaw of Old Dominion. Watch that low and outside for strike number 1 here. Now the 0-1, hacked down the left side, and it's going to be quickly 0-2 here.
And that should fire up the dugout as well, Wyatt, for sure. After 2 quick outs, then you hit a home run. Just like that, cut the lead in half.
4th home run on the season for Harwich, the first on the year for King. 0-2, taken on the outer half, a slider that had Fitzgerald looking for a little long at the letters. And that'll retire the side, but Harwich cuts it to a 1-run deficit here in the top of the fourth, scoring 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and leaving none stranded. 4-3, Harwich trails. It's Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Tim Noon, the southpaw of Babson College of Division III baseball, back on the bump here. Set to face Keaton Anthony, Rodney Green Jr., and Josh Pine, the lower third of the Cotuit order here. Noon working out of the windup, deals a first pitch outside here to Anthony for ball number 1. 4-3 deficit for Harwich here in the bottom of the 4th from Loa Park. Here's the 1-ball pitch taken down the middle at the knees for strike number 1. The count's 1-1 to Anthony. 389 hitter with 38 RBIs in his 3rd year for the Iowa Hawkeyes. Pitch taken low. It's 2-1. Iowa with arguably the best bullpen in the Big Ten this year, Devin. Did not finish in 1st, however. Now the 2-1 from Noon as he winds and fires it foul down the right side, past the seats, and it goes to 2-2.
Anthony just 1 for 8 on the early season for the Kettleers.
An Iowa team that went 15-8 in the Big Ten this year. 2-strike pitch. Breaking ball lofted down the left field line and into the glove of Lavari at 3rd. He dived towards his right just past the bag, and there's one away here with the leadoff man gone here.
That is not an easy play. Kenny Lavari really showing his awareness there and making up for the poor defense he had against YD with that beautiful play. Might have taken away extra bases from the Kettleers on a sinking liner that he was able to get a glove on.
Here's the first pitch to the southpaw Rodney Green Jr. He slices it into left field and a line out into the glove of Wilson this time. 2 quick line outs and 2 quick loud outs for that matter, as there are 2 away here in the 4th.
And that's just great positioning by the Harwich coaching staff. Got to give credit where credit's due. Wilson way out towards left center field, almost by the scoreboard out there. And if he'd been any more left, it would have been extra bases once again. So credit to the shift by the Harwich coaching staff.
Now Josh Pine, the 3rd baseman, steps up, watches a fastball outside at the knees for ball number 1. 4-3 lead for Cotuit here over Harwich. Team's first meeting on the season. 1-0, tap back behind home plate. It's 1-1. 2 quick lineouts here to start the bottom of the 4th to Anthony and Green Jr., the lower third of the lineup, facing Tim Noon, the Babson College product. Harwich wearing its road navy uniforms with red lettering and white outlining. Here's the 1-1 from the southpaw. Slider flies high, and it's 2-1. 5 straight retired here for Noon, starting to find a rhythm, Devin, after giving up 3 in the 1st and 1 in the 2nd. The 2-1 on the way. Noon misses low and away. It's 3-1. 2 away, nobody on the base pass here. A pair of lineouts here as a 9-hole hitter in Pine of Indiana in the Big Ten steps up. 3-1. Sky to the right side, staying in the infield. King, the Wingate product, steps in, and he makes the catch just shy of the lip of the outfield grass as the Cotuit Kettleers go down in order once again here in the 4th after a solo blast from King. And it's a 4-3 deficit for Harwich going into the 5th. If you stay in the middle innings, this is Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Four to 3 lead for Cotuit over Harwich here at Lowell Park in Cotuit, Massachusetts. Lorenzo Carrier, Kenny Lavari, and Matt Scannell, the middle third of the Harwich lineup, due up here against Cole Mathis, the right-hander of the College of Charleston here. Mathis giving up 2 earned runs to Yarmouth Dennis in his season debut. He winds and fires the first pitch. Slider flies down the middle for strike number 1 to the Miami Hurricanes right fielder Lorenzo Carrier, who had a sizzling season debut last night. Here's the 0-1. Fastball tapped over towards the right side, and it goes foul. That draws Loma Vita out of the catcher's stance, and it's going to be 0-2 here to the Bear Delaware native, the 2-time Delaware Gatorade Player of the Year. Has, for what some would say, Devin, a gargantuan frame, as it was on full display last night, a 3-run blast at the expense of the Orleans Firebirds. 2-strike pitch, Slider watched that low, and it goes to 1-2 here. Had a 3-run home run in his first at-bat last night, as it was his first swing, and Carrier has certainly sold himself already here to Steve Englert. The 1-2 on the way from Mathis. Fastball misses low, and it's 2-2 here. Carrier here on the afternoon, struck out swinging back in the first, reaches a hits batsman in the third. The 2-2 from Mathis. Low and away. It's 3-2 here to Carrier. Has yet to see a payoff pitch here today. He's the leadoff man here as Harwich trails Cotuit 4-3 in the top of the 5th here from Lowell Park. Straight clouds in the outfield, shadows extending across the infield. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider had a Carrier out in front. He strikes out for the second time today and falls to 0-2 as Mathis has one away here in the 5th.
That slider is so nasty because it looks like a changeup, and so these Mariners pitchers are ready to barrel up, and then it has this late top-to-bottom movement, and it drops just towards the bottom of the zone, and Harwich hitters have been swinging over it all night.
Lavari grounds it over towards the right side. Quick bouncing ball for Harry. Moves to his right, fires onto first. And he's going to be safe. It was in the glove of the first baseman of Thatch, and it's going to be a huge opportunity here for the Mariners as they get their 6th hit on the day.
Yeah, Thatch has had a tough night over at first base. Can't dig anything out of the dirt over there. And granted, you'd like the throw to be in the air, but be an infield hit now for Lavari.
He seemed to have it in the web, and instead it popped out at the last second, and Lavari using his speed out of the box here to draw up Matt Scannell as Harwich has a man on first here to work with one away, trailing 4-3. First pitch taken low and away, and it goes outside and back to the backstop as that will send Lavari into second and almost thought about third, but he'll stop there, still in scoring position as Harwich now has the tying run in scoring position, the leading run at the plate, and Scannell, the Princeton Tiger.
Tough pass ball for Loma Vita. That one just a fastball inside that he was unable to get over to. Not sure if maybe Mathis missed his spot, but probably one Loma Vita should have had, and it's free 90 feet. Mariners will take it.
1-0 on the way to Scannell, taken for a strike outside. It's 1-1. 4-3 deficit for Harwich, here with one away in the top of the 5th. Solo home run from Seaver King, the latest run for Harwich thus far. Mathis out of the stretch, 1-1, chopped over towards the right side. Another roller for Harry, steps to his left, fires onto first. And there are now 2 away as Lavari slides into third. Harwich fighting in small angles, Devin, after getting that solo blast from King, getting 2 back in the third. And you consider those walks helping Harwich here, and a ground ball has Harwich with a tying run on third.
Yeah, and a big spot for Obi. He's had a few chances to do damage. Scannell got on in front of him in the second, and he struck out. And then he had the bases loaded with 1 away in the third, and he struck out. So a chance for some redemption. He can tie up the ball game. Big at-bat for him.
It's a big at-bat, but he'll have to be working from behind in the count here as he swung and missed on a slider inside from Cole Mathis of the College of Charleston. 0-1. Rolled foul down the left side and just past the Kettleers dugout. 0-2 quickly here to the Duke product. Victim of 2 strikeouts here in his season debut for the Mariners. Played for Chris Pollard, a team that did not win the ACC Baseball Championship, lost to Virginia in the postseason tournament. 0-2. Slider swung on and missed. 9th strikeout here already for Cotuit pitching. 2nd of the inning here for Mathis. As Harwich brings 4s to the plate, scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and leaves 1 stranded at third in Lavari. Harwich trails 4-3 going into the bottom half of the 5th. We're halfway home at Lowell Park. This is Harwich Mariners baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. 4-3 deficit for Harwich going into the home half of the fifth here. But first, a new pitcher into the ball game here. The southpaw of Old Dominion, Jacob Gomez, making his second appearance on the season. He was credited with the save on opening day against Yarmouth Dennis, going with a 7-out save, 29 pitches, as he was able to work 1 strikeout despite allowing 2 earned runs to the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. He will face Caleb Lomavita, Tanner Thatch, and Brock Roden in the top third of the order here for the Cotuit Kettleers at 6-1 on the season. Lomavita, the California product, hitting .316. The southpaw Gomez deals a first pitch, swung on and missed for strike number 1 here. Lomavita on the afternoon, 2 for 2, doubled back in the first, single to shortstop in the second. Gomez working quickly, the 0-1. Fastball swung on and missed high, it's 0-2.
Gomez started really strong when he came in the other night and then hit some turbulence. Let's see what kind of appearance we can get out of him.
The 0-2 is a swing and a miss. Gomez going back to the fastball this time on the outer half. As the Harwich Mariners get their first strikeout on the afternoon, we bring you the final line for the Babson College product in Tim Noon. He went 4 innings full, gave up 3 earned runs, 1 unearned run to make it 4 total, 6 hits, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. Now 1 away for Tanner Thatch. The southpaw watches a slider loop down the middle for strike number 1. First strikeout here on the afternoon for Gomez. 1 away here on the bottom of the 5th. 0-1. Fastball misses high and away. It's 1-1. Thatch on the afternoon, 1 for 2. Top third of the order for Cotuit has certainly delivered. Forced Noon into some rocky waters earlier on. The 1-1 on the way. Slider tapped back into the screen, and it's 1-2. Thatch will have to protect here and try and avoid his first strikeout on the day. Single to first back in the first, grounded out to second base back in the second. A tall left-hander awaits here. The 1-2. Gomez goes outside, and he doesn't get the benefit of the doubt, so it goes to 2-2 here. 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th from Lowell Park. Cotuit and Harwich meeting for the first time here today. The Kettleers lead 4-3. The 2-2. Lofted into left field, and it's down for a base hit. That time a bullet off the bat of Thatch as he picks up his 2nd hit of the day, and that's the 7th hit of the day for Cotuit, as there's 1 on with 1 away here in the 5th.
Yeah, just left that one a little too far up, and Thatch, a tall guy, was able to take advantage right in his wheelhouse, laces it in the center field, similar to the hit he had in the first inning. And so we'll see what Cotuit can do. Before that, 7 straight Kettleers had been retired. See if this is the start of something or if Gomez is going to be able to rebound.
Now the first pitch on the way here to Brock Roden. The first pitch taken for a strike at the knees inside for strike number 1. Veteran in college baseball is Roden Devon, the native of Durant, Oklahoma. Was born in 2000. Makes me feel old as well. The 0-1. Bunt shown, and it's pulled back, and it goes low, and it's 1-1. At Wichita State this season, had 62 hits, 18 doubles, and 17 home runs with nearly 70 RBIs. Runner on first with 1 away here on the bottom of the 5th. Harwich trailing Cotuit 4-3. The left-hander Gomez deals. 1-1, swung on and missed on a slider. It's going to go to 1-2 here. 2 for 2 on the afternoon. Roden here, product of Wichita State. Stands at 5'9", $175, the former Seminole State College transfer. The 2-strike pitch from Gomez. Chopped up the mound and over to the right side, stepping on second King. The throw on a first in time. A great play by the Wingate product and Seaver King after he hit the solo bomb to pull Harwich to within 1 back in the 4th as he ends the inning 4-4-3. The double play getting Harwich without any damage on the board here in the 5th. 3 brought to the plate here for Cotuit, scoring no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and leaving none on base. Harwich still trailing 4-3 going to the 6th here at Lowell Park. This is Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. 4-3 deficit for the Harwich Mariners against the Cotuit Kettleers here. New pitcher into the ball game here, Reese Wissinger. This is the right-hander of Southeastern. He fires a first pitch fastball high for ball number 1 here. Andrew Yu, the Duke product, stepping back up here. 0 for 2 today, struck out looking and grounded out to the third baseman in Pine. Now the 1-0 from the right-handed Wissinger. Fires a fastball and goes swung on and missed for strike number 1. 4 runs on 7 hits, 1 error committed for Cotuit. 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for Harwich. Wissinger, the Davenport, Iowa native, getting his season debut in here today. The 1-1. Lofted foul down the right side as he'll leave the ballpark, and it goes to 1-2.
Yeah, great relief outing from Mathis. Just surrendered the solo shot to King. Other than that, did the job. 5 strikeouts in his 2 2/3.
Solo home run for Seaver King, his first on the season. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball goes downstairs. It's 2-2. Andrew Yu making his debut as well here today for the Harwich Mariners, similar to his teammate in the lower third of the lineup in Devin Obie. Stands at 6 feet 220 from Duke. The 2-2. Fastball swung on and missed. First strikeout of the season for Wissinger. It's already the 10th here for Cotuit pitching, as there's 1 away here in the 6th. Ryan Wilson now stepping back up, the Davidson product. Getting the starting nod in left field today. He's played right field. He started at first base as well for Steve Englert, who just got his 400th win in an abbreviated 3-0 win over Bourne back on Wednesday night. Swung on it for strike number 1. Wilson, a victim of 2 strikeouts today. The first looking, the second swinging here. As Wissinger looks for a 1-2-3 job here. Nobody on base for Harwich, trailing Cotuit 4-3. The 0-1. Fastball lofted back behind home plate. And it gets out of play. It's going to go to 0-2 here to Wilson. Harwich with multiple batters on hitting streaks entering today. Wilson, one of them, with a 2-game hit streak now. He'll have to protect here with 1 away and the base is empty. The 0-2. Fastball swung on and missed. 3 straight strikeouts from Cotuit pitching. Back-to-back punch-outs here for Wissinger, the second arm out of the Cotuit bullpen. And there are 2 away here in the 6th.
Yeah, just blowing it by hitters, mid-90s with these fastballs, and bottom of the Harwich order has struggled here today. A combined 0 for 9 between Devin Obie, Andrew Yu, and Ryan Wilson. And with that, actually 8 of those outs by way of the K. So 8 strikeouts making up 9 outs out of the bottom 3. Not a great showing.
First pitch, a fastball high to Ali Camarillo for ball number 1. 0 for 2 today, reached on an error to third to start off the ball game here today as Harwich trails Cotuit 4-3 with 6 hits. The 1-0. Fastball goes low. It's 2-0 here to the new Texas A&M product. Camarillo with a 2-game hitting streak here after Harwich's major win at Orleans last night to get back in the win column. 12-2 there. Here's the 2-0. Fastball laced back behind home plate. It's 2-1 here. Camarillo has been known to get the ball on the ground this season. Two away here in the top of the 6th from Lowell Park. The Mariners on their first 2-game road trip of the year. The 2-1. Spiked back behind home plate. It's going to be 2-2. Wissinger climbing back in this count here as he looks to strike out the side.
Yeah, Harwich hitting has got to figure it out. I mean, they've just been getting blown away. Already 11 strikeouts by Cotuit pitching, making up 11 of their 17 outs they've recorded have been by way of the K.
The 2-2 from Wissinger. Fastball misses low, just below the knees, if not at the knees, and it's 3-2 here to Camarillo.
Yeah, that was a paintball. Probably could have gone either way. Maybe a little low, closer to a ball, but really nice pitch that time.
Nobody on, 2 away here in the top of the 6th. Harwich down by 1. The payoff pitch for the right-handed Wissinger. 3-2, lofted back. We'll do it again. Camarillo, Devin, someone who has left a strong impact on CSU Northridge of the Big West. In his sophomore year, he led the team hitting .371 in his freshman year. He had 8 multi-hit games, someone who has definitely marketed himself well, and now will be taking that to the SEC next season. The payoff pitch again from Wissinger. Fastball roped high and down the right field line as it goes foul well past the dugout. Bunch of young fans running after it as the at-bat nears 8 pitches already here. A huge trait of Camarillo is to be able to take pitchers deep. That's what he did back in the first before reaching on the E5. Sees his second payoff pitch here of the ball game. Harwich trailing Cotuit 4-3. 13 combined hits. 2 away, nobody on. The payoff pitch. Fastball lofted back behind home plate, and we'll do it again.
It's funny the magnet that baseball brings. All the kids just flock right around it, fly into the woods. Probably all kinds of poison ivy and stuff back there.
It was an early 4-run deficit for Harwich through after 2. But then 2 runs in the third and a solo bomb from Seaver King of Wingate, making it a ball game here for the Mariners on the road. The payoff pitch again. Curveball just goes on the inner half, but it misses inside. As Ali Camarillo, with the toughest at-bat all afternoon for Harwich, reaches here as a 2-out base runner. Instead of striking out the side, that forces Wissinger to work out of the stretch with 2 away.
And look for Camarillo to be in motion here because really a win-win. You got your hottest hitter, Seaver King, with 3 hits this afternoon. You can get in scoring position for him, or he leads off the next inning. So expect Camarillo to go here.
Pickoff attempt back over at first, unsuccessful as Camarillo dives in safely. 4-3 deficit for Harwich here against Cotuit, Lowell Park. Calm breeze on the afternoon. Curveball tapped down the left field line. It goes well foul. 0-1 the count here to King. Single to third back in the first, single to center in the third, and hit the solo blast for his first on the season back in the fourth Harwich long ball of the year. 2-out base runner, Camarillo. The 0-1 takes a bounce in the dirt. Camarillo already halfway down to second, and he'll reach standing up.
I believe that was a dirt ball read that time. Great job by Camarillo to make his way down to second. Now, best of both worlds for the Mariners. You got King up and Camarillo in scoring position. Just need a hit here. And an intentional walk.
So they intentionally walk King as his on-base streak was extended to 7 back in the first inning. And he's reached all 4 times he's been brought to the plate. The first time a Harwich Mariners batter has been intentionally walked this season. As now Harwich has 2 on with 2 away here, trailing Cotuit 4-3 in its first trip to Lowell Park this season. Hunter Fitzgerald, the southpaw of Old Dominion, steps up. First pitch, roped into right center field, quickly down for a base hit. Rounding third, Camarillo, he gets the wave around sign. He'll score standing up. Getting the wave around sign as well is going to be King, as he'll do the same. A 2-run base hit for Hunter Fitzgerald as the Old Dominion product moves to 2 for 4 on the afternoon, driving in 2 runs as Harwich has its first lead of the ball game at 5-4 with 2 away.
And that was just absolutely clutch. You think about Roberts trying to play the numbers game. He puts the runner on in Seaver King, and Hunter Fitzgerald makes him pay. Might have taken that a little personally as a disrespect that he wanted to face him, and he just dumped that ball in the right center field. A really nice swing, and Harwich out in front, 5 unanswered.
First offering to Lorenzo Carrier, misses low for ball number 1. Carrier already looking to construct a 2-game hit streak here after leaving the yard for his first home run of the season. A 3-run blast at Eldridge Park. Also had a 2-run double late. The 1-0, fastball misses low. It's 2-0 here. So after retiring the first 2 batters he faced, Wissinger now struggling here, still working out of the stretch. On a 2-run base hit from Hunter Fitzgerald, the Old Dominion product has been one of Harwich's hottest hitters to start off the season. Pitch. Fastball low again. It's 3-0.
Now their opportunity to extend the lead, because you better believe Cotuit's going to find a way to get some more offense, especially now that they're in the Harwich bullpen.
5-4 lead for Harwich over Cotuit. 7 hits apiece with 2 outs. 3-0. Fastball down Main Street. It's 3-1. 2 strikeouts for Wissinger here as a second reliever out of the Cotuit bullpen. But ever since, he's allowed a walk, an intentional walk called for as well. 3-1. Fastball swung on a miss. Carry a little bit behind. This will be a payoff pitch here.
93 on that fastball. Just blew it right by. Power on power.
Harwich trailed 4-0 going into the third inning. And it's been different ever since. The payoff pitch, low and away. Carrier earns his first walk on the afternoon. He reaches for the second time as there are runners on first and second. And despite Cotuit having one of the lowest ERAs in the Cape Cod League this season, Devin, it's certainly not holding up too well against a Harwich lineup that's certainly hungry to put together 2 wins.
Yeah, and when you think about Wissinger coming out, punching out back-to-back hitters, swinging to start the 6th, and then now the 5th hitter coming up in Lavari after the 2 outs were recorded. So really nice job by Harwich to stay alive and be determined.
Curveball drops off the table on the outer half for Lavari for strike number 1. Harwich slowly getting back into this one. Now runners on first and second with 2 away. The 0-1 goes low in the dirt. And it's going to be 1-1 here to the Old Dominion third baseman. Lavari, a relatively quiet afternoon. Grounded out to second back in the first, walked in the third, and singled to second in the 5th. Prime chance here. The 1-1. Curveball goes outside on the higher side, and it's 2-1 here. 5-4 lead for Harwich here in Cotuit at Lowell Park. 7 runs apiece. Hunter Fitzgerald with a 2-run double to give Harwich its first lead of the day. 2-1. Fastball skied back behind home plate. It's going to be 2-2.
Brewster on top of Wareham 4-2 in the top of the 6th from Stony Brook Field.
Brewster taking hold of first place in the Cape Cod East standings at 4-2 on the season entering today. 2 away, 2 on. Harwich Ed 5-4. The 2-2 from Wissinger. Fastball lofted out towards left field. Moving to his right, Green as he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Lavari flies out as he falls to 0-2, rather 1-3 on the day, I beg your pardon. But nonetheless, Harwich takes its first lead on the afternoon, scoring 2 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and leaving 2 on. 5-4 lead for Harwich going into the home half of the 6th here at Lowell Park. This is Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Five to 4 lead for Harwich. Its first advantage on the afternoon as Jacob Gomez, the Old Dominion southpaw, steps back on the mound here for his 2nd inning of work. He only saw 3 back in the 5th here. Wyatt Kopelman joined by Devin Dobeck here on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Middle third, the order due up here for Cotuit and Brett Bateman to start. The first pitch to the southpaw taken down the middle on a slider for strike number 1. Bateman on the afternoon 0-2, grounded out to the starter in noon for Harwich. Flew out to left field as well. Here's the old one. Missing outside that time. It's 1-1 here. 7 runs apiece, rather 7 hits apiece. 5-4 lead for Harwich here in the bottom of the 6th. The 1-1. Skied back behind home plate. It's 1-2 here to the leadoff man in Bateman, who hit 67 hits at Minnesota this season. A veteran for the Golden Gophers. Here's the 1-2 from Gomez. Fastball misses high. It's going to go to 2-2 here. A good take that time from Bateman. Part of a 10-14 Minnesota team in the Big Ten this season. 18-34 overall. Here's a 2-strike pitch. Gomez deals it, and it's roped down the right field line for a base hit. Just shy of the 3-4 gap as the right side of the infield was wide open for Bateman. He pulled it, and the leadoff man is on here.
Hanging breaking ball that time. Got his hands in on it, barreled it up, dumped it right in the right field. Really nice piece of hitting by Bateman.
So the 8th hit of the day here for Cotuit after it held a 4-0 lead going into the top of the third inning before Harwich walked in 2 runs and got a solo bomb out of Seaver King. Here's the first pitch, high and outside to T.O. Banks for ball number 1. Leadoff man aboard here for Cotuit in Bateman on a single to right field, forcing Gomez to work out of the stretch. A lefty-righty battle here, the 1-0. Lofted down the right field line. It's going to go foul here to make it 1-1. Banks on the day, 0 for 2 here. Just 1 hit amongst the final 6 batters in the lineup here for Cotuit. Devin, certainly a top-heavy lineup thus far as the Cotuit Kettleers trail 5-4. Checking over at first is Gomez here. And this is a Cotuit team that's facing Harwich in a battle consisting of 2 of the top 4 hitting teams. Harwich has had a little bit more balance throughout its lineup here today. We'll see if that changes here. 5-4 lead for Harwich. Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses high. It's 2-1. Harwich trailing by 4 going into the third inning before walking in 2 runs and getting a solo bomb out of Seaver King. Hunter Fitzgerald, the cleanup hitter here today, rather 3-hole hitter, I should say. 2-run double into right field. The 2-1, chopped over towards the left side. Camarillo flips on a second for 1. The throw on a first is in time. 6-4-3 double play, starting with Camarillo over to King, into the glove of Scannell as the side is retired. Harwich, rather 2 outs here as Jay Harry comes up here. The Penn State product stepping in here. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. Single to center field back in the first and grounded out to short back in the third. 6-4-3 double play empties the bases here as he watches one down the middle for strike number 1. Harwich has had numerous double plays this season. Now 2 away here to get Gomez back into the windup. The 0-1. Taken outside on a fastball. It's 1-1 here to Harry. Hit .299 with 37 RBIs in his 3rd season at Penn State. In a lefty-lefty battle here. A 1-1. Raking ball swung on and missed. It's going to be 1-2 here. This will be forced to protect. Cotuit only striking out once here today. Far different from what Harwich has faced against Cotuit pitching with 11 strikeouts. The 1-2. Foul tipped and just off the glove of the catcher and you, making his debut behind the dish here today. Something that he would have enjoyed to have there. And a bit his 2nd strikeout here on the afternoon for Gomez. 2 away, nobody on here for Harwich, leading Cotuit 5-4. Here's the 1-2 from Gomez. Fastball misses outside, goes to 2-2. Harry makes it a new count.
Yeah, the fact that Harwich has been in such a good position without Culpepper and Humphrey, 2 guys who've played every game to this point, it's pretty impressive, especially on the offense. 2-2.
Line down the left field line and for a base hit. Off the third base bags, it trails into foul territory. Wide round around first in Harry as he coasts into second with a 2-out double here. After a 6-4-3 double play, Cotuit back in business here, getting its 9th hit on the day as that forces Gomez to work back out of the stretch. Keaton Anthony coming back up here, the .389 hitter at Iowa this season. Huge 2-out hit here for Jay Harry. The first pitch on the way, fastball clipping the outer half for strike number 1. 5-4 lead for Harwich here in the bottom of the 6th at Lowell Park, facing Cotuit for the first time this season. Standing off second is Jay Harry, reaching for the 2nd time here today. 0-1, misses low and inside. 1-1 here to Anthony. 3rd-year product of Iowa with 38 RBIs, looking to translate the RBI prowess here and draw it even here at Lowell Park. Pitch. Lined over to shortstop Camarillo at the lip of the outfield grass. Backhanded grab, fires onto first, not in time. A wonderful effort that time by Camarillo. Nonetheless, he's unable to get the throw to beat out Anthony as there are runners on the corners here with 2 away. As Cotuit may have a 2-out rally of its own here.
Yeah, that's right indeed. In a close play, Camarillo deep in the hole, but he made a huge play on that ball. If that ball gets in the left field, then it's a tie game. So nice job to cut it off, and unfortunately the throw didn't get there, but you'll take it. Now, just got to continue to focus on the batter if you're Gomez. Lefty on lefty matchup, use it to your advantage.
Keaton Anthony not singling so often this season. The first pitch to Rodney Green Jr. swung on and missed for strike 1. Green Jr. 0 for 2 here today. Grounded out to second back in the first. Line out to left back in the fourth. As Harwich leads Cotuit 5-4 here. 17 combined hits. The 0-1 from Gomez. Slider goes way outside. It's going to be 1-1 here.
Another decision you're going to have to make if you're Harwich is if Anthony takes off, are you going to take a risk and make the throw down and risk letting the run come in, or what? Cotuit likes to run.
Brian Art not getting the start here today instead of Andrew Yu of Duke. 1-1. A half swing and a miss. And they're saying he went around. It's going to be 1-2.
Of course, Jackson Horning departing from the Mariner team, so you going to be the 1-2 catcher with Arndt.
Green Jr. in a huge spot here with 2 away and 2 on, both on the corners. 5-4 Harwich lead. 1-2. Fastball taken on the outer half as it gets called looking. A huge strikeout for Jacob Gomez. He gets his second strikeout in his second appearance on the season as he leaves the runners on the corners here in the bottom of the sixth. Cotuit scores no runs on 3 hits, no errors, and leaves 2 on, trailing Harwich by 1 going into the 7th. We'll be right back. It's Harwich Mariners Baseball on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Top of the 7th coming your way here from Lowell Park on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. 5-4 lead for Harwich after a 2-run double from Hunter Fitzgerald of Old Dominion. Matt Scannell due up. Back over to my broadcast partner, Devin Dobeck, for the final 3 innings here in Lowell.
Thank you very much, Wyatt. Matt Scannell digging in, followed by Devin Obie and Andrew Yu. Mariners clinging to that 1-run lead. They are in search of more, that is for sure. Is back out there is Wissinger, and he blows strike 1 right by Matt Scannell. Scannell on the day, 1 for 2. Singled in the second. He's also walked and grounded out. Comes the 0-1. Blew it right by him again. 90 miles per hour on that pitch, and it's 0-2. Wissinger had settled in back-to-back strikeouts to start off the 6th before 5 more batters would come up for Harwich and add 2 runs. 0-2 pitch to Scannell coming. Misses way up and away, and it'll be 1-2. Seaver King was intentionally walked in that sequence and actually is the winning run as it stands right now. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Scannell. Fouls it off, and yeah, sometimes in coaching when you're playing chess like that, it hurts you, and this was one of those instances. I'm a little surprised, but King's been so hot. Roberts elected to face Fitzgerald, who must not have understood his hitting around the 400 mark as well, and they made him pay. 1-2 coming to Scannell once again. Breaking ball is going to be lifted high into right center field. Coming in is Bateman, and calling him off is Green Jr. to put it away for out number 1 here in the 7th.
Only 2 straight retired here for Wissinger in his debut on the season. Devin, you certainly have to look at how he's going to be able to settle in here against the Harwich lineup that's gotten a little bit more hitting after its 4th hitter in the lineup.
Devin Obie digs in. He's punched out 3 times swinging today in the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 5th, trying to avoid that same fate here. Wissinger has not faced Obie yet, the only batter that he hasn't faced in the Harwich order. It's 1-0 now to start the Duke product. On deck is Andrew Yu. 1-0 pitch. Obie might have foul tipped it. Yes, he did, into the catcher Lomavita's glove, and so it'll be 1-1. Obie's defense is really what carries his play style, but we'd like him to get going at the plate here in Harwich. As that one bounces by Loma Vida to make it 2-1. Just around a 220 hitter for the Blue Devils. Didn't see too much action this season. As here comes the 2-1 offering. Checked his swing. No, he did not, and so it'll be ball 3. We'll be trying to reach base for the first time as a Mariner, ahead of his Duke brethren. 3-1. On the inside corner, Obi had taken a step and a half to first base, but he'll have to dig back in. His count has worked full. Mariners would love to have the speedy Obi down to first base, 6'2", and he can run. Fouls off the 3-2 pitch, and so we'll have to do it again.
Sam Armstrong only gave up 1 earned run through 6 innings in his second start on the season, got his only win. It'll be interesting to see how he develops as a draft pick.
3-2. Misses low, and Obi draws a really nice walk that time. He's on base for the first time today.
And Steve Englert said he just wished he had another year of eligibility. Was already up to a lot of innings this year, and looks like it's going to be a pitching change, speaking of which, here for Wissinger.
Yeah, Robert's going to make his way out, and I'm sure there will be a pitching change. So we'll take a quick break and step aside. Mariners with the leadoff man, or the second man on, 1 away here in the 7th. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Call to the bullpen. It's going to be Ben Grable, the Northwestern product, taking over. He had a 5.58 this past season for the Wildcats. Posted a record of 2-1 with a pair of saves as well. Surrendered 27 hits and 19 earned runs in his 30 2/3 pitching. See what he can do here. 1 on, 1 away here. Devin Dobeck from Lowell Park in Barnstable. It's Kettleers searching for their 7th win. No balls and a strike to Andrew Yu. He struck out twice today and grounded out to third. 0-1. Bounced in the dirt. Really nice by Loma Vida. Got away and got ugly. Devin Obi down at first base after earning a 7-pitch walk. Scannell flew out to start the inning. Brian Wilson on deck. 5-4 Harwich. The pitch. Breaking ball misses up high, and it'll be 2-1. Grable tallied 4 strikeouts in a 2-inning performance back at Louisiana Tech on March 4th. That was definitely a highlight for him. 2-1 pitch is going to be fouled off. Obi was in motion, flying and not paying a lick of attention to anything but second base. He'll have to retreat. 95 on that fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long look in as U readies, and it'll be a pickoff attempt. Back into first base safely is Obi. See if these longtime teammates can make something happen to extend the Harwich lead. They're clinging to it by a run. The pitch. Bounced in the dirt. Obi didn't really have a jump on it. Would have been tough as Loma Vida stopped it pretty soundly. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the payoff pitch now. Nope, they're going to take another look at Obi, who's back in there with a head-first slide. 3-2 with 1 away, 1 on, and the Mariners leading 5-4. Payoff. Runs inside, and it'll be back-to-back walks issued by Cotuit. Down to first base goes Andrew Yu. First time he's been aboard tonight. Down to second goes Obi, and the Mariners now with 2 on and 1 away for Ryan Wilson.
Yeah, it's got to feel good if you're you. Victim of 2 strikeouts here today. Grounded out as well. And just a huge chance for Harwich to strike for more runs here to build some insurance after getting 2 in the 6th.
Ryan Wilson has struck out 3 times today. Trying to avoid that golden sombrero here in the 7th. It's 1-0 to start him off. Brewster on top of Wareham 4-2 in the top of the 7th from Stony Brook Field. Falmouth and Hyannis knotted at 0 in the top of the 3rd from McKeon Park. 1-0 pitch. On the inside corner for a strike. YD and Orleans just getting going. No score there in Eldridge Park. And Bourne and Chatham set for first pitch in just about 10 minutes at Veterans Field. Ball and a strike now to Wilson. Obi's on first, U's at first, Obi's on second. Here comes the 1-1. Just missed on the inner part of the plate. And it'll be 2-1. 96 on that fastball. I tell you, if Grable can really bring it, his velocity has been there. Still looking for his control. Here's the pitch. Double steal, or a hit and run actually in motion as Obi was headed to third, U down to second, but foul from Wilson will send everybody back to their stations, and it's 2-2.
Grable had 9 scoreless appearances for Northwestern this season. Certainly the one you want to turn to. Try and translate that here. Only keep it to a 1-run deficit here for Cotuit after leading 4-0 going into the 3rd.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Wilson trying to keep this rally going. The pitch. Fouled off. Really nice defensive swing. And so it'll be 2-2 once more.
Finally getting some continuity in the lower 3rd of this lineup. Back-to-back walks here for the Duke products and Obi and U after Harwich had struck out a combined 6 times in that part of the lineup.
Pitch is going to be bounced in the dirt, make it 3-2. Obi thought a snap throw was coming down to second, had to slide back in. And Lowell Park has gotten very quiet as the sun has gone down. 5 unanswered runs for the Mariners, who were down 4-0 through 2 innings. Another payoff pitch coming. And it's going to be lined into center field for a base hit. Obi taking a turn and headed home. The throw from Green Jr. is offline, and Obi is in to score. The Mariners double their lead. It's 6-4 off the bat of Ryan Wilson.
Andrew, you did a great job of holding up that time. Just does not have the same speed as Obi, and he read the signs well all the while. Both of them really did. And now Harwich with that 2-run lead. And there's only one out here as well, despite the fact there's an opportunity for some weak ground ball contact for a double play to close it out. Harwich has to be able to look to take advantage. Left side of the infield is wide open as well.
What an at-bat and a clutch hit from Ryan Wilson. As first pitch to the top of the order, and Camarillo's down low for a ball. And when you think about that part of the lineup, the bottom three, they were combined 0 for 9 through their first 3 at-bats with 8 strikeouts. And now just like that, a walk, and a single, and they're starting the rally here in the 7th for Harwich. Next pitch misses up high at 95 miles per hour, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, no Brian Art in the lineup today, someone who started to heat up for Harwich as well at the plate. Next to Ryan Wilson, they exchange Arndt for Wilson, but they're getting some hitting out of Devin Obie now.
2-0 pitch is going to be in there for a strike, and it's 2-1. On deck is Seaver King. He's been scorching on base 4 times in the ball game today. Camarillo reached on an error and is grounded out twice to go along with a walk in which he came around to score. 2-1 pitch is going to be right in there at the knees to make it 2-2. Harwich trying to extend their margin as they lead Cotuit by 2 on the road, looking for back-to-back wins. 2-2 is going to be lined into the glove of Jay Harry. What a play, and then he doubles up Andrew Yu at second. A leaping grab, and then on to second to end the inning. Cotuit desperately needed that, and defense is what's going to get them out of the top of the 7th. Time to stretch at Lowell Park. Cotuit coming up, searching for 2 or more on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Heading into the home half of the 7th, it'll be 9-1-2 due up for the Kets. Josh Pine, Caleb Lomavita, and Tanner Thatch will be up to the test against Gomez, who, believe it or not, is going to be stuck out there for his 3rd inning of work. See what he can bring. Ran into some trouble back in the 6th, but a 6-4-3 double play helped him out of the inning.
It's been a week since he's pitched as well. It's been a very full Harwich bullpen to start the year.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Pine. Just miss that upper and away corner. 88 miles an hour on the changeup, and it's 1-2. Next pitch is going to be popped up in the infield. Seaver King battling the sun just a little bit, but he puts it away with ease. Scored that in F4, and there will be one away here in the Kettleers 7th.
Gomez getting that 6-4-3 double play for a quick 2 on the board. back in the 6th. Gave up 2 subsequent hits, however. We'll see how he settles in this time around.
Omavita trying to get something going for Cotuit. They put together a nice little 2-out rally a couple innings ago, but really need to get going as time running out. Next pitch is going to be popped out into foul territory, and there's a pig pile for the baseball. Back behind us, 5 children just all on the ground. 1-1 pitch is going to be popped up once again, headed right back at them, but they're all worried about the first one as this one lucky guy who had gotten away is going to pick it up. Ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 is cut on and miss. Big strikeout that time, the 3rd for Jacob Gomez. He is really in a rhythm. Trying to replicate that outing he put together back in his first relief appearance, in which he went, I believe, 3 innings as well, and just around that mark, and was fantastic. First pitch to Tanner Thatch is going to miss for a ball. 1-0. Thatch on the day is 2 for 3. Pair of singles, also has scored a run and grounded out to second. 1-0 pitch misses up high, 2-0.
Gomez known for his longevity, that 7-out save on opening day. Brings some lefty strikeout prowess out of the pen here for Harwich.
6-4 Mariners. 2-0 pitch is going to be popped up once again in the shallow right center field. King going back out to get it himself, and he's called off by Obi, and Obi makes the play. Thank God for King as he hit the deck. Not sure where it was, and it's a 1-2-3 7th for Jacob Gomez and Harwich. 6-4 Mariners heading into the 8th frame. We'll be right back on the other side after a quick break. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Grable back out there for the 8th inning. Harwich getting out hit 10-8, but they lead on the scoreboard 6-4, an error aside. As Seaver King will dig in 2-3-4 for the Mariners. And it's been a lot of success out of that part of the lineup. We'll see if they can add to their 2-run lead here, as both Time and Daylight running out for Cotuit. And it's another base hit for Seaver King. His 4th hit of the day, 5th time he's been on base. What a game for him, as that's how the 8th starts for Harwich.
It's been a huge right-handed hitter in the lineup. Henry Fitzgerald has been a huge left-handed hitter in the lineup. You look at King, someone who brings in a massive on-base streak into this game, and he can just continues to find ways to get on base. That time just a hard-hit ground ball to the left side.
4 for 4 for Seaver King. He's fantastic out of that 2 spot as Hunter Fitzgerald watches ball 1 go by at 94 miles per hour. Fitzgerald on the day 2 for 4, a single, a double. He's also come around to score, struck out, and grounded out. 1-0 is cut on and fouled back to make it 1-1. Beautiful night here at Lowell Park, but that sun has gone down, and now it's closer to 60 degrees. Wyatt, you're lacking a sweatshirt. It's got to start to be getting to you.
I left the Columbia fleece at my apartment. Shame on me.
And they'll take a look over at first base. Seaver King back in there at first base.
Coming from the palm trees of South Florida, you don't feel a lot of breeze.
1-1 the count now to Fitzgerald. The pitch is going to miss for a ball, make it 2-1. 95 though. Grable continuing to pound the zone. Cotuit started off hot, scored 4 runs in the first 2 innings. Mariners have stormed back with 6 of their own to lead it. Pitch misses down low for a ball, and it'll be 3-1 to Fitzgerald. There is arms loosening in the Cotuit pen, and I would imagine a walk here would earn Grable a seat right on the bench. The way Mike Roberts has been game planning here today. 3-1. Swing and a miss. And the count has worked full at 3-2.
Harwich had been retired 4 straight from the span of the 5th or the 6th. There were 2 outs in that 6th inning, and it really made work of those 2 outs.
Payoff pitch coming. There goes the runner and King, and it's fouled off. And so we'll stay at 3-2.
Harwich has just been so much better over the past couple of games. That 12-2 win last night at Eldridge Park and here at Lowell Park tonight. Just finding ways to capitalize on the road with 2 away, not letting rallies die.
And a lot of consistency. They've scored in 4 of the 7 innings thus far and threatening here in the 8th. King over at first. 3-2's the count. And another pickoff attempt as King's back in there safely, standing up. On deck, Lorenzo Carrier. He's excited to get another lick, still searching for his first hit here in the ball game. Another pickoff attempt, and back in there with ease is King.
This is the matchup you want if you're Fitzgerald. You're facing a relatively new pitcher in the ball game in Grable, trying to win the payoff pitch here.
Here it is. It's fought off. And we'll stay there at 3-2.
He shook his head. I don't think that was the pitch he wanted. He knew that had been ball 4. Despite having a slight advantage here in this righty-lefty matchup, Fitzgerald has been red hot here in the top of the order for Harwich most of the season.
3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here. Here comes the pitch to Fitzgerald. Misses inside, and it's a walk. Really nice at bat for Fitzgerald. See what Roberts elects to do here against the power-hitting Carrier.
Yeah, Hunter led Harwich in walks entering today, and now has an on-base streak of 7 to match Kalen Culpepper, who got the day off here today. And you just look at what it takes out of Hunter Fitzgerald. You see the frame. It's not always about the power hitting and the extra base hitting for that matter, but he had that 2-run double, and now Lorenzo Carrier stepping in here with another huge spot for Harwich.
Jacob Humphrey has been sent to pinch run for Fitzgerald, so he's on first base now. Of course, he has some serious speed. Harwich really looking to blow this game open here with nobody away and Carrier up to the plate. Carrier on the day struck out, then was hit by a pitch and stranded at 3rd, struck out in the 5th, and then was walked in the 6th. First pitch to him is going to be in there just below the letters for a strike. On deck, Kenny Lavari. He's 1 for 3. King harboring towards second base as Carrier lifts one up and out of play foul. No balls and 2 strikes to the Miami Hurricane. Ben Grable still out on the mound trying to get out of this jam he's put himself in. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Grable. He blew it right by Carrier. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night to send down the power hit. Just strikeout here.
Harwich has had 7 walks out of its lineup here today. Nobody with multiple walks, but it's come at the price of 12 strikeouts.
Lavari digs in. Had a single in the 5th. Also a walk in the 3rd. First pitch to him is going to just miss outside to make it 1-0. He's also grounded out to second and flew out to center. Harwich done a great job as of late turning the lineup card over. Everybody getting their 5th at-bat going down the 9. 1-0 is going to be in there for a strike. And so it'll be a 1-1 count. Humphrey being subbed in the game doesn't mean anything on defense, as Fitzgerald is the designated hitter here tonight. So nice that it's a pretty easy substitution, and when you think about it being the 8th inning, and makes sense to add some speed to the bases, try and grow your lead, because probably 50-50 that Fitzgerald's spot would come around again, and Humphrey's been hot too, so pretty easy decision to make if you're Coach Engler. A ball and a strike now to Lavari. 2 hours and 11 minutes into this ball game, and there's going to be a balk issued. Big mistake from Grable allows Harwich to move into scoring position. As down to third base goes King. Humphreys into second, and still just one away here for Lavari. Ball and a strike's the count, the pitch. Missed it up and away, and it'll be 2-1.
Small unforced errors haunting Cotuit here, forcing them into uncharted waters. It's a Cotuit team that has not allowed a lot of earned runs, just 6 as a matter of fact, over a 3-game win streak, Devin.
2-1 pitch. Just misses outside. It's 3-1.
Now you give up the opportunity for a ground ball double play to close out the side here and get your Northwestern pitcher and Grable out of a jam here. Someone who is very accustomed to going scoreless for most of his outings at Northwestern.
3-1. Misses down low, and Kenny Lavari on base for the 3rd time today. His 2nd walk, and they're all loaded up, believe it or not.
Yeah, now the matter of the fact for Harwich is just how many do you bring home and how many do you strand here with one away, and that's going to draw another mound visit here. I don't know if this is going to be the day yet, but with 3 on here, Harwich only with 1 out, just a huge chance to capitalize, as that's going to be it.
Yeah, that will be it. Call to the bullpen. Mike Roberts making the move with the bases loaded. We'll meet the new wing on the other side of the break. 6-4 Mariners, 1 away, and the bases loaded. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Call to the bullpen, it's going to be the designated hitter, Keaton Anthony, stepping onto the rubber, the two-way player for the Kets. This past season at Iowa posted a 2-0 record with a 4.95 ERA in his 43 games that he participated in, through just 20 innings. Of course, many of those coming with his bat. 11 earned runs as well, as he starts off Matt Scannell with a ball. See what he can do here against the Princeton power hitter. 1 away and the bases loaded. 6-4 Harwich, the pitch. Misses down low to make it 2-0. And now Scannell can be very selective. He's got a few pitches that he can watch and really wait for his. Scannell on the day 1 for 3 with a single. Here comes the 2-0. Right down the middle. And I mean right down the middle at 89 miles per hour. It's 2-1. See what they can do, trying to extend their lead. Cotuit not going away. 2-1 pitch. Misses low and away. And with nowhere to put him now, you're going to have to see Keaton Anthony come too. On third is King. Humphrey's on second. Lavari's on first. The pitch is going to be ripped down the line in right field, and a fair ball. Coming in to score easily is King, rounding third, and coming home to score is Humphrey as Scannell's down into second with a 2 RBI knock. Really got a hold of that one. What a swing, and this game is being blown open. It's 8-4.
A serious RBI hit that time from Scannell after hitting Harwich's first home run on the season. Did not hesitate in pulling the ball, was almost too early out of the box that time, but just well timed. It's a 4-run lead for Harwich. That's the insurance that you need with still 1 away.
Right down the line, and now it'll be Devin Obie with an RBI opportunity. On the day, he is 0 for 3 with a walk, also came around to score in the 7th. 2 men on and 1 away. This is an identical situation as to what Obie came into earlier in the ball game. See what he can do and make the most out of this. Ball and a strike now to the Duke product. Scannell's at second. Over at third's Lavari. 8-4 Harwich. The pitch. Misses low and away, and it's 2-1. Harwich has finally doubled the Cotuit run count up to 8-4. Here's a 2-1, and it falls off the table, makes it 2-2. Wareham has tied things up with Brewster in the bottom of the 8th, 4-4. Falmouth jumped in front of Hyannis 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th in Hyannis, and Orleans on top of YD 1-0 in the bottom of the 3rd. 2-2 pitch. Misses low and away, 3-2.
Anthony tried the slider that time. He forced nearly 25 groundouts in 43 appearances at Iowa this season. He'll need one here.
Payoff pitch coming. Obie has not put a ball in play yet. 3 strikeouts and a walk, but a payoff pitch coming to him again. And it will be in there for strike 3. Obie goes down for the 4th time today and is crowned with the golden sombrero. First time he's gone down looking today, and the first strikeout for Keaton Anthony, a big one at that.
Now you sort of neutralize things here. If you're Anthony, just need one more here. You have a vacant base to fill here as well.
Andrew Yu digs in and watches ball 1 go in just above the dirt. It's 1-0. Yu on the day is 0 for 3, a pair of strikeouts, a ground out, and a walk before being doubled up in the 7th. 1-0 pitch. Misses down again, and it's 2-0. On deck, Ryan Wilson had a big single back in the 7th to chase in Obie. 2-0 pitch. It's going to be in there for a strike at 80 miles per hour, 2-1.
It's a devastating slider if you're you. It's just inside the letters. You can't really do much about it, but just watch it. Hope it doesn't get run up on strike 3.
2-1 is going to be lined foul over into the netting. It'll be 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on in scoring position for the Duke catcher. Mariners have tallied 2 here in the 8th, looking for more. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Yu goes down. 3rd time he's punched out today. And so getting out of the inning while surrendering just the 2 runs are the Kettleers. They need some serious offense heading into the home half of the 8th. 8-4 Harwich. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Into the home half of the 8th, it'll be 3-4-5 due up for the Kettleers. Back out there is Jacob Gomez. His team has given him some insurance. It's 8-4 Harwich. First pitch to Brock Rodden in there for a strike, his 4th at-bat today. He's 2 for 3, a pair of singles and a ground out to second. 0-1. Is going to be chopped over to the shortstop, Camarillo. He gathers and fires on the first just in time. And that will be 1 away.
And 5 straight retired here from Gomez, who had that 7-out save against Yarmouth Dennis, now one of the best hitting teams, not only in the division, but the whole league right now, just out of first place with Brewster ahead of it. And if you're Gomez, you have to feel appreciative given that you've been able to have the defense rally around you.
He'll be a pinch hitter for Cotuit. As Brett Bateman's night is over, he went 1 for 2. He had a bunt, flew out to left, and singled. First pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Carter Matheson out of Indiana, 6'2", 205, will be the pinch hitter. And check swing, and no, he did not. So it's going to be fouled off and over the seats to make it 2-1.
You need to get some hits going here. You look to the .311 hitter in Matheson. Started 61 games at Indiana this season. Had 28 extra base hits as well.
2-1 is going to be on the outer part of the plate to make it 2-2. Teo Banks on deck for the Kettleers. They are in desperate need of some offense. As next pitch bounced in the dirt. And daylight also starting to become a factor. Why we talked a little bit about it off air, but based on the 4-run margin that Harwich has put together, you got to think, will Cotuit be able to make that up if it goes to the 9th inning in that time with daylight? As another strikeout for Gomez. He is feeling it. His 4th punch out. And there's 2-way here in the 8th.
And it's a strikeout that's been working. 2 dominant pitches. Fastball as well, the Old Dominion products, now with 4 strikeouts here in the 2nd outing on the season. And despite giving up the earned run on opening day, he's really cruised here.
First pitch to Teo Banks is going to be in there for a strike. Banks on the day 0 for 3. Very rare that a Kettleer has not been on base. Majority of their lineup has been on base. As it'll quickly be 0-2 now to the left fielder. He's grounded out to shortstop, third base, and grounded out to short again, but this time a double play. See what he can do here. 0-2 pitch. Just missed the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Teo Banks, potentially the last life for Cotuit. The pitch, got him. Strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts, and number 5 now for Gomez. We'll take a quick break and come back. 8-4 Harwich heading into the 9th. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Top of the ninth inning here. Devin Dobeck, Wyatt Kopelman along with you is back out there. Is going to be, back out there going to be Keaton Anthony for the Cotuit Kettleers in the ninth inning. Harwich leading by 4, and first pitch now to Ryan Wilson is going to be chopped foul off to the left, and it's 0-1. We are going to play a ninth, it appears, and it's definitely starting to get a little dark. Visibility tough, but definitely playable. So as long as it's a very efficient ninth inning, as that one's going to be line foul. Looked like it might have got a piece of third base, but it doesn't, and so it'll be 0-2 to start Ryan Wilson.
That seemed to be the right of the first base bag. You talk about the visibility. That baseball certainly looked visible enough to the first base bag of the white box. Third base bag, excuse me.
0-2. I don't know where that missed, but it did. 1-2.
You compare it to the right-handed batter's box and the third base bag. It was to the right of that right-handed batter's box.
Ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch to Wilson. Down in the dirt. It's 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Top of the order, Ali Camarillo on deck. He's already had 5 ABs. 3-2 now to Wilson as he watches the ball go down low. Payoff pitch. It's going to be chopped foul. Staying alive is Wilson. Born on top of Chatham, 2-0 in the top of the second from Veterans Field. All other scores have stayed stagnant since we last updated you. Payoff pitch coming. Just missed the outside corner. It'll be a walk. Really nice at bat for Wilson. He's on base for the second time today.
First walk of the season here for Wilson. Not strikeout prone aside from here tonight, but he gives you a single to center field, sets up Ali Camarillo really nicely. And it's been a lot of payoff pitches that Harwich has been able to work for itself here today.
Camarillo on the day reached on an error. He's grounded out twice, lined out to second, and walked and come around to score in that leadoff spot for Coach Englert. Losing light by the minute. First pitch is going to miss for a ball, 1-0. Kettleers fans have mostly stayed, some filing out, but the majority have stayed in. See if their team can pull off something magical here at Lowell Park. Pitch. Breaking ball snapped in there for a strike to even up the count at 1. 10 hits aside, also an error apiece. Harwich on top of Cotuit, 8-4 on the scoreboard, though. As here comes the 1-1. Bounced in the dirt, gets away from Loma Vida and down to second easily as Wilson takes a turn, and he's in scoring position with nobody gone down.
Rare wild pitch there from Anthony, someone who had a good deal of strikeouts at Iowa this season, was a key member of that bullpen mentioned earlier, and now just a wild pitch moving a runner into scoring position. No better time here for Harwich than to just tack on some extra runs here. Camarillo looking to draw an RBI hit here and get his first hit on the day for that matter.
2-1 is the count to Ali. The pitch. Breaking ball just misses inside, 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike. Runner in scoring position is Wilson. Top of the order, and Ali Camarillo's up. And another pitch misses inside. It'll be back-to-back walks to start things here in the 9th.
Mariners getting their 9th walk on the night, and despite being very strikeout prone the past couple of games, it's been all about just not letting opportunities die. You have a runner at second in Wilson. Doesn't mean you have to bat him in right away and try and swing for the alleys or down the lines for that matter.
Two men on for Seaver King. He's already had 4 hits in the ball game and scored 4 times, and he rips this one into shallow left field, coming in and making a shoestring grab is Rodney Green Jr. to take away hit number 5 from King. He's all smiles as he heads back to the dugout after the great day he's had. Can't believe that one was taken from him, and it'll be out number 1 here in the 9th.
With King, some of the unimaginable opportunities he's created for himself. I think at that point, you don't reach the first time in 6 tries, so you just tip your cap to Green Jr. That was just an extraordinary grab out in left center field right before it fell so quickly.
New batter is Jacob Humphrey, and he grounds one off the third baseman to the shortstop. The throw not nearly in time. Funky little sequence there, and it loads the bases up for Harwich.
Seen multiple instances here today, and that time it was a good job by Rodden just getting behind the third baseman in Pine. But nonetheless, Harwich loading the bases here. Big chance for Lorenzo Carrier again after he's struck it out a couple of times here today.
See what he can do as they did credit Humphrey with a hit. He stays hot. First pitch to Carrier is going to be in there for a strike at 81. And if Carrier puts a charge into this baseball, it could effectively be a walk-off daylight rule. So we'll see what happens here. 1 away, bases loaded. I feel like the Mariners have had the bases loaded a plethora of times, and despite scoring 8 runs, they've stranded a total of 12 base runners thus far. 1-1 pitch to Carrier. It's going to be cut on and make it 1-2. Carrier on the day is 0 for 3. He struck out 3 times, been hit by a pitch and walked. 1-2 pitch to him. Misses outside, and it's 2-2. On deck is Kenny Lavari. Should we get there? Mariners trying to add some insurance before the bottom of the 9th. 2-2 pitch. Bounced in the dirt, 3-2. 2 walks and a single are how we got to bases loaded with 1 away here in the 9th. Seaver King was robbed of his 5th hit of the day out in center field. Nice play by Rodney Green Jr. Payoff pitch. And it's going to be lifted out into right field. Coming on to make the play is, I believe, Bateman. And the throw in, no advancement from Ryan Wilson. Not hit far enough, and so it'll be an F9 for Lorenzo Carrier. Actually making the play was Carter Matheson, who was subbed in for Bateman. So Kenny Lavari digs in, trying not to strand the bases loaded. Lavari on the day has reached base 3 times, 1 for 3. He's grounded out and flew out, but he also has a single and a pair of walks. 2 away here, and the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. A tough one for Lavari to look at, but he'll have to accept it and keep going. 0-1's the count. And the pitch is going to bounce and be snagged by Loma Vida to make it 1-1.
At this point, you just can't afford any more wild pitches to put your catcher under duress. That scores at least 1 run.
A ball and a strike with 2 away and nowhere to put him. The pitch to Lavari is going to miss inside to make it 2-1. He's now ahead in the count. Keaton Anthony still out there for Cotuit, trying to keep this a 4-run game so his team has any sort of chance. 2-1. 3-1 now. And if you're Harwich, you're not comfortable with this 4-run lead. As you know, YD put up 4 in the bottom of the 9th the other night at Red Wilson. You went on to lose. So a base hit from Lavari would really be icing on the cake here. As 3-1 offering. Breaking ball inside, and it'll be another run coming in to score off of a walk. Lavari collects his 3rd walk of the day. In to score is Wilson, and they're reloaded up again for Matt Scannell.
Keaton Anthony pitching for the first time for Cotuit this season just has not really found a lot of rhythm here to try and get a couple of quick outs. He just needs 1 more.
Scannell had a 2 RBI double back in the 8th inning. Gets his 6th at-bat this time. Ball and no strikes now to start the Princeton Tiger. Harwich looking to really just seal this one up. The pitch. Misses outside to make it 2-0. Keaton Anthony in another bases-loaded jam for the Kettleers, who trail by 5 here in the 9th. Breaking ball is going to be in there at the knees to make it 2-1 to Matt Scannell. Two balls, one strike with 2 away, and the pitch. Misses down low, and it's 3-1. Anthony running into some trouble. There is action in the Cotuit bullpen. Granted, they only need 1 out to close out this half an inning. 3 balls and a strike. The pitch. And Scannell lifts it high into center field. Rodney Green Jr. is under, and he puts it away for out number 3. But the Mariners add 1 more, but strand the bases loaded. To the bottom of the 9th we go from Lowell Park, 9-4 Harwich. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Bottom of the 9th, it'll be Brian Zeldin out of Penn stepping onto the hill to relieve Gomez. He went 4 complete innings, 4 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, and no walks. Great extended relief performance out of Gomez. Zeldin comes in. He's pitched once for Harwich. Did not allow a run. Only pitched a third of an inning. And first pitch is going to be rolled over to second. On to first is King. And that will be out number 1 here in the 9th.
Jay Harry has been quite successful tonight after that 6-4-3 double play, double to left field. Seemed as if Cotuit had a 2-out rally in store, but now it's going to turn it over to a pinch hitter here for the Cotuit Kettleers.
See who it is momentarily.
That's going to be Jacob Tobias of Arizona State. Takes ball 1 here. Another pinch hitter coming in here, lefty bat to face the righty.
It's going to be 1-1 count. As Zeldin trying to slam the door on this Kettleer offense. They trail by 5 after being up 4-0. 1-2 the count now. Zeldin looking for his first punch out of the evening. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Gets away from you, but he'll flip off the mask and throw it inside on a line to Scannell. 2 up, 2 down here in the 9th.
Now Harwich's pitching has finally come alive with the strikeouts, despite allowing a couple of walks here and there. Harwich's lineup has done a great job of earning walks here today. And ever since trailing 4-0 going into the third, it's just been a different pitching scenario thus far. You noticed how quickly Noon settled in. He passed it off to Gomez, too.
First pitch to Rodney Green Jr. rolled over to second. Seaver King, a sliding play on to first. And that is out number 3 in the ball game. Mariners win this one 9-4 on the road, knocking off the best team in the Cape Cod Baseball League. A strong team win. We'll break it all down for you on the other side. 9-4, Mariners win. Stay tuned for the Mariners post-game show on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome into the Mariners post-game show. Devin Dobek, Wyatt Kopelman along with you. Mariners run away with this one at Lowell Park. 9-4 after being down 4-0 through 2 innings. They storm back, fueled by 5 hits from Seaver King. He was 4 hits, excuse me. Sensational. Really excited to get the chance to talk to him after this ball game. But Wyatt, great game top to bottom. Gomez, 4 innings of relief. He earns the win. Can you speak about Gomez and King?
Well, when you look at what King has been doing as of late, he's been an extremely special player for Harwich. His 7-game on-base streak has been no shadow into this Harwich lineup. And you consider what Tim Noon did as well. Settled in after allowing the 4 earned runs in the first 2 frames. Very expected of one of the top hitting lineups in the Cape Cod League in the Cotuit Kettleers.
Yeah, and they really shut them down, slammed the door. Cotuit did strike for 10 hits, but Mariners pitching was sensational here tonight. You get a 1-2-3 outing from Zeldin as well. Up and down the board, not enough good things you can say. Everybody contributed. OB and U still getting their land legs here in Cape Cod. But Matt Scannell, a big double back in the 8th inning. Carrier on base twice once again. Lavari on base 4 times here tonight. Fitzgerald with a couple big hits. Seaver King, game of the year. And yeah, just a fantastic win for this ball club. But why, any final thoughts before we close it?
I mean, you consider that Harwich still left 15 on base, and albeit struck out 35 times over the past 3 games, 9 runs is very endorsing on the road in the house of a 6-1 Kettleers team that has a little bit of soul-searching to do, nearly matching Harwich in hitting here today. But a 5-run deficit, you have to be going back to the drawing board in a little bit. It's just one blip on the scorecard if you're the Kettleers, but 3-run win streak snapped here on its home field.
The first place Brewster Whitecaps travel to Harwich tomorrow at 6:30 at White House Field. That will be a good one, but final box score one last time. 9 runs for the Mariners, 4 for the Cats, 11 hits for Harwich, 10 for Cotuit, and an error apiece. Gomez gets the win, Wissinger the loss, and that will pretty much wrap us up. On behalf of our producer, Sean Sears, my partner, Wyatt Kopelman, and myself, Devin Dobek, thank you so much for joining us on the Harwich Mariners YouTube network, and always remember to live the dream. We'll see you tomorrow night.